Like I think I had like 4 closings in that month. And like to be transparent is like that's like I got a check for like 40 grand.
Hey, I actually really want to drop out. How do I get started in real estate? My parents want me to be here, blah, blah, blah. And I thought,
Getting where you need to be and then having the freedom of time. Like I couldn't agree more. I don't need to be the top dog. As long as you're putting in the work and you're doing what needs to be done, like you're not going to have an issue. The people that's going to have issues are those that aren't really working in real estate, you know? I mean, like even back in the day, I would like literally take videos of me being down horrendous and just be like, I know I'm going to come back from this. I know I'm going to be better.
that's right. Hello, welcome back to the podcast. Today is my favorite day because we've got Alex Bradshaw in the house. Alex is one of my very first team members here in Seattle. Alex came to work with me in 2020. He was in college at the time, and now he is a full-time realtor, absolutely killing it in the game. He's selling hella houses. And what I love most about Alex and why you're one of my best friends is because you keep it simple. You are super, super disciplined. You're a hustler. You do your stuff every day. Truly proven that if you want it, you can get it. So, Alex, this is long overdue to have you on the podcast, but in your words, tell us how you got in real estate, your experience with college. Give us the rundown on the beginning.
Yeah, I appreciate the intro, V, as always. Yeah, I mean, shoot, I got started with Vayna. It's been 3 years now, which it doesn't feel like it's been 3 years, but it's been 3 years, which is crazy. But I mean, I literally met Vayna at a poker night and I was going to school. I always knew I might get my license, sell a couple of houses, but never full time. Like I had no idea I would be in the position I am now. So I was going to school. I was working with you. Like it's funny, I'd go to the office and do like half real estate work and half school work. And yeah, I mean, I just kind of kept showing up, even though I didn't really see anything from it, I really enjoyed the team aspect we had, and I just slowly started to learn. And then I started to take it really serious when I got licensed and started selling and making some money. So it's good.
Like day one, when Alex came to work for me, he was in college, no real estate license yet. I was doing kind of like a program thing where we were teaching people who don't have their real estate license yet how to find deals, and we'd do them together, make a little bit of money. And that was like our internship style. And so when Alex came in day one, he was in college. I knew he was in college when we kind of did the interview. I started telling you to drop out on day one, right? And you didn't, which was a mistake, but you essentially did, which is the good part. So you were in college, I think, for 6 months while you were working with me and getting your license all at the same time. Was that hard to balance? I don't think you cared that much about college during the time.
Yeah, I mean, it was difficult to balance because like I was studying for the real estate course and then also like trying to pass my classes, which I didn't do a very good job of doing. As far as like being able to balance it, it's a grind. I mean, I felt like I was doing a lot of work, but ultimately, like I started to get very passionate about real estate. Like just watching you like going out and doing it and just being like, wow, I want to be there. Like kept me really motivated, so that helped a ton. It's crazy because yeah, I finished my first year of college, but right when summer hit, like I got licensed, and I want everyone watching this to know, like I went 8 months without like seeing any money. Like, like I was just showing up every day. Like obviously we were friends, it was a good time, but it's 8 months, without a paycheck. So I'm very happy with myself for staying with it, and just not giving up. Like super grateful. So
That's awesome. And how many houses I think there's 4 or 5 that you sold before you even dropped out of college?
yeah, it was like summertime. And then I luckily sold like, I think it was like 6 houses over the summertime. And then I was like, all right, we're not going back to school.
Oh, because you were on summer break. That's right. And the only
Right.
reason you were in college is because your parents wanted to. It's not like you wanted to go get a real job. You weren't going to use the degree. And that's why I was hammering it onto you so hard, is because you guys were spending the money on college and you weren't even going to use it. And your passion was clearly in real estate. Like
Right.
that's what you're going to do long term. So, if you're in college and you want to go be a doctor, but you want to do real estate as a side hustle, that's a different thing. If you want to do real estate long term, then just drop out of college. Let's leave it at that.
I agree. And it was like the best decision. And like my parents wanted me to go to school. So for me, it was like, how can I justify dropping out? And then the 6 houses definitely helped, but you got to be full time if you want to really be good at this, you know?
I agree. I do think you have to be full time. Like, to be good at this, you can sell like 1 or 2 houses a year and make 30 grand. Like, no problem. Just sell to your friends, sell to your family, whatever. But if you want to be a full time realtor, you want a career in real estate, you want to make big money, I think you have to be full time.
I agree. I think same exact standpoint for
Yeah,
sure.
it's so funny because I was at the University of Oregon last night speaking on a panel to the real estate investment club there. And it was pretty sweet. It's like, it wasn't a college class where they had to be there. These kids, like, they wanted to be there. And they're like my age. I'm 22. And this guy comes up and I was talking about I was saying that you should drop out of college on the panel because they asked me, like, how did you make that decision to drop out? And so this guy comes up after and he's like, hey, I actually really want to drop out. How do I get started in real estate? My parents want me to be here, blah, blah, blah. And I thought I was talking to Alex Bradshaw 3 years ago. So I laid it down. I told him the story about you. I was like, you know what? I listened to his question and I'm like, so I had this guy 3 years ago. He came to work for me, blah, 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 blah. And so I just told him, like, if you are here because your parents want you to, or you feel like you should be here, you are wasting money. Just go find someone to work for in real estate, show up every day like you did, 8 months, 6 months, whatever, make the calls, take their advice, listen to them, and you can be successful. So let's talk about that. You got licensed April 2020, and then you sold 6 months in the summer. Where did the deals come from?
Majority were like, I was just like cold texting people on Facebook, like talking to a lot of renters. And so like majority of my business first year was like, I think I had one listing and it was like my parents' house. So like majority of people that I was selling to, I was representing buyers. I was running around with a lot of buyers and they came from just like on the phones, texting, converting renters to buyers, that sort of thing. So.
And you were, I mean, it was a long time ago now. It felt like so long ago, but you were excited when that happened. I think you were like, you started saying like, man, I should have dropped out of college a long time ago.
Yeah, no, like, because my birthday month is August, and like, I think I had like 4 closings in that month. And like, to be transparent, is like, that's like, I got a check for like 40 grand. I was like, holy shit, like this is more money I've ever seen in my life, and so that definitely like helped propel me. But also knowing that like if I'm not going back to school, like I have to get this done. Like I don't have a choice, I don't want to go back. I have to make this happen. Like that helped a ton.
Do you feel pressure at all, or do you think you did in the beginning to do more deals, make more money? I mean, you're young, you don't have much that you need to do. What was driving you at that time?
God, that's a good question. I mean, I've always like wanted like more, like I have like a lot of dreams and aspirations down the line of like things I want to do. But for me, it was mostly like being able to tell myself that I can do what I put my mind to. I mean, like even back in the day, I would like literally take videos of me being down horrendous and just be like, I know I'm gonna come back from this. I know I'm gonna be better.
That's right.
Yeah, and like I don't know, I just like I had to make it happen, and I was always a big believer that like if I set a goal out and I had those steps in place, as long as I did the steps, like it should come together, so that was my biggest thing for sure.
You just got that dog in you, really.
Hey, real quick, Vayna here. Just wanted to pop in and introduce myself just in case you're wondering who the heck is this 22-year-old girl selling real estate and how can I get into this? I started my real estate business when I was 19. Started out straight cold calling sellers for business and working with buyers. There are a couple platforms that I use to start up that I get questions about all the time. And so I've actually compiled all of the resources that I have used to build my business into one place. The link is in the description below. We've got list builders, dialers, presentation, marketing tools, wholesaling software, all of that good stuff, everything that I have personally used to close more deals. Link will be in the description so you can check out. I've partnered with all these companies to get you free trials and samples of things. So check that out. Let me know your questions in the comments down below and let's get back to the video.
No, but that's actually like one of the most overlooked things, I think. And it's hard when you're young to know what you want, but when you have a vision for your life and you can fully imagine and you know what it's gonna feel like, then it's really a lot easier to have the plan in your everyday activities, right? Like Alex, it's today. You are cold calling what 2-3 hours every single day.
Yeah.
How do you do it? Like, people are so scared of cold calling. You're obviously used to it. How do you get most of your business now? So how did you overcome that hump of the fear of rejection and these every single day?
I think the biggest thing is you just got to start. Like for me, I hated cold calling too at first. Like I was so scared to hop on the phones, and like there was even a time where we like contact competitions, and then Vayna was like, "Alex, you're not about being on the phones." And I'm like, "You're right." Like I'm not. It felt like for me the biggest thing was like interest rates came up. There wasn't. It was kind of difficult to find buyers from renters again. So I had to adapt to the market and I had to find a way to continue to do business. And for me, it was like really hitting sellers hard. And, our mentor Thatch was really getting on us about only working sellers. And so I was like, all right, I got to make this switch. And the one thing about real estate, if I could say it to anyone, is just like you're constantly adapting, like you're constantly changing. And the only way to get good at something is even when that shit gets hard, you just got to keep pushing. You're eventually going to figure it out. As much as you might not think it, you will. And so that's exactly what I did. I just kept picking up the phone, kept dialing. Eventually, like, I have no emotion on the phone now. Like, I can call like 30 people. It could be 6 a.m. I really don't care. Like, I'll pick up the phone and call. So it was just a matter of doing it and then consistently like being bad at it to the point where like I'm now learning things from being bad at it. Now I know what to say. Now I know how to control the conversation. I'm learning from other people that I'm watching on YouTube and I'm just getting better.
A question and I hate to hear from like new age is, what do you do when the market shifts? Well, that by itself is a good question, but the question of like in that, you probably won't as much business operating on that assumption, right? Like I know you agree with me that when the market shifts and all these agents are dropping out, nothing to worry about. Right. Because as long as we're still doing our activities, like you said, you do need to shift. So there are things that we do when it changes, or our business changes. But as far as operating up the fear of like we're probably going to get dropped out of the market just because it's changing, yeah.
Right. I agree. I feel the exact same. Like as long as you're putting in the work and you're doing what needs to be done, like you're not going to have an issue. The people that's going to have issues are those that aren't really working in real estate. They're just like I'm going to sell 1-2 deals. Like that's who I'm scared for because they're not doing the work that needs to be done. Where like, a year ago when the market was hot, anyone could sell a house. Like anyone could find someone wanting to buy or sell. Now it's like, this is where the true skills come out.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. I think that where I'm landing is like, they use the market changing as an excuse for not doing as much. Oh, is it a slow one? Oh, the interest rate is up. No, it's not because you didn't work hard. It's because you didn't shift. It's because you didn't adapt. It's doing the things that you need to do to make it better for you. It's not the same thing is going to work for 25 years. It might work by 20 because now you're only working on base and referral, but in the beginning, this is hard. It's hard to build consistent business. So you sold how many sold in your first year?
Yeah, it was like 11 or 12.
Yeah. So between June and December 2020, 12 bills, and then 21, you did any?
It was like 26.
Mm-hmm. And then 2022 did?
Actually, I guess 2022, I did 26. The year before that, I did like...
18?
Yeah, like 16 or 18.
16, what's the word? Exponential growth, right? That's positive growth year after year. What do you think contributes to that? So you shifted, you doubled down on buyers in your first year, and you shipped listing, I think, in 2022, right? It took like 6 months to get at listings too.
It did. It took time, and I'm still getting better at it now. Like, but I would say I'm probably 50-50 buyer and seller right now for this year.
Year to date, how many deals you got? You're at a lot right now.
I'm at 10 pending and closed right now for the year. I think I'll probably be on track to do like 35. I think I'll be around end of the year.
You're going to sell 50.
I'm shooting for 50 though. We're going 50.
You're selling 50. I don't want to hear that. 10 so far this year, listing a little bit of buyer. It really is that simple, honestly. Right? Like, what do you say to the new agents who hit you up all the time trying to get into the real estate game? Like, they are genuinely willing to work hard and do what it takes. What do you tell them?
I tell them that the number one thing that they should put 90% of their focus on is finding clients. You can have someone at your firm help you with paperwork. You can have someone help you with like protocols as far as like, going through the financial process.
Whatever it is.
Right. You could figure that out. But the one thing that you can't do you can't do any of that if you don't have clients. So it's like, you need to find ways to hold open. I mean, if you're a new agent, that's why I tell them, I'm like, you should be holding an open house every Saturday, Sunday. You should be talking to 10 strangers a day. and you should be calling 2 or 3 people that you know every day. And I guarantee you're going to get deals. Like I guarantee you're going to get one here and there.
But it's not when you can't. You get a deal by calling that many people and talking to them about real.
Right. It just, and like, it's the most random thing sometimes. Like, I was talking to my uncle at like a Easter event. I don't talk to him often at all. And he wants to buy a cabin. And I'm like, cool, I'll help you buy a cabin. Like, you know, I'm a realtor. And he's like, okay, yeah, let's go check some out. Like, it's the most random times that it's going to come up. That's so like, it's the biggest thing for me. It's just like finding clients. That's your biggest idea.
Here you go. I totally agree. It's don't freaking worry about how to do it, what it's like, how to a house, how to write a contract, how to put a listing on the MLS. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't have contracts to put on the MLS.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I was gonna say too, like another big thing is just like not being attached to one deal. Like, and I think you and I can both kind of attest to it, is like you get that one buyer client and like you're like, this is my deal, like my for sure deal. And then it doesn't work out. And then you get super discouraged. And that happened to me like on my first client ever. I drove like an hour to show like 12 different times to show them a house. And then they decided to rent. And I was like so distraught because I was putting everything for this client. And now for me, it's just like, I just want to have so many opportunities that if one doesn't work out, it's okay because I have a bunch of other, you know, people that I can help either buy or sell. And just not getting attached to the outcome. Like if it doesn't happen, it's okay. You know, you're just going to find another.
That's so true because I've hired people in the past, you know, they've been on our team who like they got a deal under contract, like a wholesale deal, but couldn't find a buyer, numbers weren't right, seller, for whatever reason, it didn't work out. They just dropped off. Like maybe they came back 6 months later, but for the 6 months, their mindset that was something better just because one thing didn't work out, which is crazy. Imagine if you went back to work after that didn't work, how many more deals you would. And that's so true. And I hate to see it when their mind goes in the gutter. And so like, you know, now whenever a person something doesn't work out, I make sure I'm on like, hey, this one didn't work, but the next one will. It's right around the corner, right? You just have to keep hustling. On that topic of just find sellers, just find buyers, ever get in front of people, talk to people every single day, have real estate conversations. When you are in that right end and you're making your calls every day, you're doing open house on the weekends, you're following your business plan, more business comes. It drops in nowhere, like you said, like you are making your calls every day, you're listing, we're working with buyers, and then all of a sudden, your uncle needs those. Someone messages you on Instagram that they want to buy a house. You get a referral. It all almost together, like all at once. I think that's a lot of like, mindset that too, right? Or in the right action, your headspace is exactly what should be. The universe rewards you. We talked a little bit about your mindset already. You just go to work, right? It's pretty simple. What drives you personally, Alex?
It's a couple of things, bro. I mean, like, to not be, like, too, like, deep about it and then to be deep about it, like, the one thing that really drives me is just, like, I just want to be able to provide for my family and for the ones that I love. And the thing I really value the most is, like, the memories that I make with people in the time that I have to myself. You know, our mentor, Thatch, talks about it all the time, and I align with it so much. It's just, like, getting where you need to be and then having the freedom of time. Like, I couldn't agree more. I don't need to be the top dog. I just want to have the time to enjoy and create memories that, like, if I die, I'm not going to regret anything I've done, you know? That's, like, my main driver as to, like, why I want to be successful. But more deep down, it's like, for those of you that know me, it's like, I rep my city hard because I love Federal Way. But I got, like, a whole plan where, like, I want to create this kind of foundation that helps, like, the homeless here, like, get back on their feet. And I think that if I get to the point where, you know, I have enough money for myself and my family that, like, I can do that and genuinely change lives. So that's, like, the more deep, and I don't want to get too deep about it, but that's kind of my why, like, why I wake up and grind, you know?
Awesome, Alex. One of the many things I love you. It's so crazy how people, they have this idea in their head of, I need to be the number one agent, I need to sell 100 houses a year, I need 100 doors. These are arbitrary things. They don't define how you feel inside, like the feeling that it brings you. Like, what does having 100 doors or selling 100 houses have to do with your quality? It's an arbitrary number that you put as an anchor to your success. When if you reach that or you become the number one agent, are you even going to be happy? Are you even going to have time to spend with your family and friends? Are you even going to be able to pursue things that you're passionate about? Just because you're using this ego-based number.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. Like I want what I want and I don't need anything more. Like I really don't. I truly don't. So
I know I probably like 2 years in is when I started getting sucked into this industry and I wanted to be like the top, everybody to know my name. I wanted to, all this stuff that doesn't have anything with like how I really feel. And that's where I realized I had to take a step and I was like, okay, I'm chasing this bag for no reason when I only need so much money to buy this many rental properties to have the option of work out. That's your goal too, I know, is to have a certain number of doors. And we're probably both going to do a little bit of real estate just as we like doing it.
right.
It's not nice when you have to sell and you don't have to wholesale 50 houses a year. You don't have to go do a listing. Setting ourselves up to do what we want.
And to kind of piggyback on that too, V, is like, I think something that helps a ton that like for any new agents or even anyone in any industry, like something that helped me a ton was through Tom Ferry. Like they had us like set our yearly goals and then like the activities that we're going to do every month, every week, and every day to get to that goal. I feel like that's been huge for me because like I have a super busy month. I'm killing it. I feel great. And then the next month is dead. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, I'm not on track for my goals. Like, but I just know that if I show up every day, I do the activities I said I'm going to do, I should get to that goal, if not right below it, Like, and I think that's something that everyone should do, no matter what industry they're in. I really do.
Planning and setting are super key because I feel like everybody knows. You might not know what you want to do with your life or your career, but everybody knows what they want in the end. Or like, if you're in your 20s or what you want in your 30s, it's hard to imagine, I feel like. And so if you can just break that down into goals, you work towards, right? So you set the big goal. You can set a 10-year goal, and then you can set a 1-year goal, and then quarterly, weekly, all the way down to the day. It's a plug and play that you want to sell 50 houses. You know exactly how many people you talk to, how many listings to sell 50 houses, and then it's how many appointments to get that many listings, and it's how many do I talk to every single day to get that many.
Right.
So it's hard to break it down. It's not freaking hard to build a business. It's not. It's about the hard work, consistency, and just getting anything in there yet, seeing the resources that you need, not depending on other people to do it for. It's all out there. Like all the information, the resources to make it fun.
It's all out there, bro. It really is.
Not even to mention you also own 5 doors now.
Yeah, I'm at 5 doors right now.
You bought your first duplex in 2022, early 22?
Yeah, early 22, and then the second duplex came early or late 2022, and then I had like a subject to deal, which this is my first time doing it. But it's pretty cool. I was supposed to close on that on the 1st of this month, but I actually am still not closed on it, but it should be by the 20th. So that'll be number 5, a single family.
And then you're going to buy a 5-plex or a 4-plex without your approval, right?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for my cost segs to hit, and then that's the game plan of the FHA house hack, which I think everyone should do. That's the greatest way to get real estate, in my opinion, with no money or with low money.
I rental property. Like, simple answer.
Simple answer. There's just so many benefits, bro. Like, especially being a real estate agent. Like, have cash flow, you have the appreciation of the property, you have the tax depreciation, which my God, I'm just learning now how important and awesome that is. I mean, just the payoff that your tenants are doing for you, it's like a natural gap that over the years, your value is going to grow in value and your pay down is going to go down until you have a large amount. I know we can't see it now, but like 10 years down the line, like we're going to be like, thank God I bought that property in 2022. You know what I mean?
What's your goal?
It was a lot different, but my goal is to have $35,000 of passive income from properties.
By the year, how old?
I want to have that by the time I'm 27, and then like I don't expect them to be paid down. I just want that a number of rental income by 27.
You're gonna have gross rents at 35,000, but you're gonna have more mortgages so it's gonna be a little different. Excuse me, but right. Once those houses are pound, then you're gonna have 35,000 in month now.
Right.
And that's the game. The gamer is we are selling houses so that we can buy rental and eventually have the passive income to do what we want.
Yeah, that's literally it. Like I just want to wake up and be like, I don't want to work today. Like Vayna, let's go to the beach. Like like that. No.
Like what? Like it's hard to get. How many doors is 30,000 for you?
Yeah, it kind of varies because like I own property in Moses Lake, right, which like rents are low. But like if I bought out here, it'd be a lot different. So, and I'm probably gonna do a little bit of both. So it's roughly like 15 doors.
Yeah, and that's all you need, right? People talk about 100 doors, apartment buildings, syndication, but 15 doors here down south of Washington is going to get you $35,000 in income. And you own all of them, you have control, it's civil, and you can do what you want. You don't have to spend the time managing them. It's going to be easy. Like, it's hard. Anything else you want to say, Alex? I mean, this is a pretty dope call. Good conversation. Hopefully we're helping out the younger generations. What else do you want to say?
I don't know. I think like, especially if want to become a realtor, bro, like set your goal, whatever it is, and then, backtrack it like we spoke about, and then learn to just like constantly be taking action. It doesn't have to be overkill. Like it really doesn't. Like if you think about it, if you hit the phones for like 3 hours a day, which sounds crazy, I know it does. Like, you have the rest of the day to chill. Like, go hit the gym and go kick it with your girl or your boyfriend, whatever, Like, it doesn't have to be that hard. Like, it really doesn't. You just have to do the daily actions daily. Like, you can't not do them daily. And I think most people get into the industry because they think, it's just business is going to come your way, but it's not. It's tough. And there's a lot of expenses. So just set your plan. I mean, hold an open house every Saturday and Sunday. Get your buyers. Talk to your sellers 5 times a week. Like, just do the daily work, bro. That's all I have to say. And then start buying real estate.
Oh, there you go. Alex, I'm so proud of you. 3 years into this, we're still only just getting started. You and I will tell each other that we're going to see each other top, right? It's,
all the time.
There's a lot to be said about doing it with people always with who are pushing you. Me and Alex talk 3-4 times a week about what we're doing. Our businesses are pretty different now. You're super dependent from me. You don't even need me to do deals anymore. So it's really sweet to be able to share notes, mastermind, do our coaching groups together, and just grow alongside each other.
I love it too, bro. And everyone watching, like, follow, give her a...
We're gonna put the Brad ads in the description. You're off on YouTube and doing good stuff. Alex is an app killer, and I'm sure they'll want you back on. So probably see you real soon. I'll let you on here again.
Thanks, Vayna. I appreciate you, girl.
We'll talk to you soon.